All right, folks, so let's talk about doing dilations on the coordinate plane now that we've dealt with doing dilations off the coordinate plane. I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible, but there is quite a bit here. So first, let's do a quick review. Remember that dilation is multiplying the distance between the center of dilation and the preimage. More specifically, every point on the preimage. So that's what we're going to be doing when we're working through these. Now, dilations preserve three properties. They preserve angle measure. They preserve orientation. And they preserve parallelism. Now, parallelism is not one that we've really talked about, but it's exactly what you think. Parallelism is preserved means that the preimage is parallel to the image. In particular, we're talking about lines or line segments there. All right, so let's look at an example of this. We need to know, just like when we're off the coordinate plane, we need to know the center of the dilation, and then we also need to know the scale factor. So both of these are provided here. We're going to dilate segment AB. It's going to have a scale factor of 2, and it's going to be centered at the origin. So then they give us the coordinates. So let's go ahead and plot those. 1, -3. So there's going to be A, and -3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's going to be B, and we're just going to connect those with a line segment. Okay, so there's the line segment, and here the origin is our center. So our origin is going to be right here. Okay, so we're not going very far with this, and we're going scale factor 2. So we're going to multiply the distance between the center and each of these endpoints. Well, the nice thing about an origin is the coordinates are actually the distances. So when you're talking about the origin, A is 1 unit to the right and 3 units down, and B is 3 units to the left and 4 units up. And we're just going to multiply those by the scale factor. So when the center is at the origin, these are actually fairly straightforward. So I'm going to go ahead and list this. I've got A is 1, -3, and B is -3, 4. And when we're centered at the origin, all we have to do is multiply by our scale factor. And our scale factor is, in this case, 2. So to get A prime and B prime, I just multiply my coordinates. So 1 times 2 is 2. -3 times 2 is -6. -3 times 2 is -6. And 4 times 2 is 8. And now I can plot these ones. I'm going to plot them in green. So let's see. We've got 2, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's my A prime. And then my B is -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's my B prime. And I can just connect those with a segment. And there you go. So that's fairly easy. When it's centered at the origin, all you need to do is multiply your coordinates. Very basic. All right, but when we are not centered at the origin, things can get a little bit trickier because I don't know right off the bat what my distance is between the center and the preimage. Okay, so let's plot this out. So this time we have a scale factor of 2, but this time we're centered at -6, -4. So I think we're actually starting with the same segment. So there's A at 1, -3, and here's B at -3, 4. I'm going to connect those with a segment. Okay, but this time my center is at -6, -4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So at this point, you have two choices. I need to know my distance between the center and each endpoint. So one way is you could just simply count. And if everything fits on the graph, this is probably the best way to do it. You can just say, oh, well, this is right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up 1. And so with a scale factor of 2, instead of going right 7 and up 1, you would go right 14 and up 2. So you would just basically double this. So over 7 and up 1, and then we would go over 7 and up 1 again. If everything fits on the graph, that's a smart way to do it. But a lot of times, and like on the practice assignment, you're going to get ones that don't fit on the graph. So I'm going to give you sort of an algebraic way to lay this out. And I will warn you, it's a little bit, there's a lot there, but it actually makes some sense if you think about it. All right, so let's start with, what are the coordinates of A? The coordinates of A are 1, -3. Okay, then what I like to do is underneath that, I want to write, how do I get from the center of rotation to A? And we already said you're going to go right 7 and up 1. So that's going to be x plus 7, y plus 1. Now, just like we know our directions now, we want to multiply them by the scale factor. Okay, so this is now going to be x plus 14, y plus 2. All right, and then to get our a prime, we're going to go back to our center, and we're going to do these directions instead of these directions. Be careful that you don't go back here. A lot of students make that mistake. The directions are always from the center. All right, so we're going to go -6, and we're going to add 14 to that. That's going to give me +8. And we're going to go from -4, we're going to add 2 to that, and that's going to give us -2. So our A prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down 2. There's my A prime. Okay, so let's repeat the process with B. B is at -3, 4. Now from the center, that is going to be, you can count this out. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up. So I've got 3 to the right and 8 up. Okay, I'm going to multiply that times 2. And so that's going to give me, instead of going 3 to the right, I'm going to go 6 to the right. And instead of going 8 up, I'm going to go 16 up. From the center of rotation, that's going to be 0. -6 plus 6 is 0, and then -4 plus 8 is 14. So this is going to be 0, 14. Well, here's a case where that coordinate is not going to fit on this graph because these max out at 10. So I can't even put this on the graph. So this is exactly why I was showing you this other method. I still got my coordinates even though they didn't fit on the graph. If that was confusing to you, what I would recommend is I would recommend watching specifically that section of the video a couple of times over, and hopefully it'll start to make sense to you. One more topic we need to cover. It's quick and easy. Let me get rid of this thing that came along for the ride. Okay. We want to determine the transformation that would map triangle ABC onto A prime, B prime, C prime. So the first thing I need to do is, again, with a dilation, I need to know the center of dilation and I need to know the scale factor. Let's find the center of rotation first. To find the center of rotation, center of dilation. To find the center of dilation, simply draw a line through corresponding points, and you have to do that twice. So I'm going to do C and C prime. So it looks like that. That's a terrible line, forgive me. It's a little bit better. And now let's do A and A prime. So it appears that these cross at the center. So my center is 0, 0. Now to find your scale factor, you're going to take two corresponding sides, you're going to find their lengths, and you're going to do image over pre-image. Now, most of the time, you're going to want to pick sides that you can count their lengths. So I would not pick AC or CB because those you have to do Pythagorean theorem to find out their length. So you're just adding more work. Instead, let's do A prime B prime over AB because I can just count those. So it looks like A prime B prime is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is an AB is 3. So this is going to be 9 over 3. So now I know my scale factor is 3. So now I can write my dilation. Capital D for dilation, and then my subscript has to be my center and my scale factor. But if the origin is your center, you don't have to write it. You only have to write the center. You would put the coordinates if it's not the origin. That's the only time you have to give the center. Or if it has a label, you could also give the label like point C or point O or whatever. That's it. I'm sorry that was a longer video. Now you can go practice.